Step inside the hidden world of extraordinary intelligence and evil genius. Today's exciting adventure takes us deep into the world of the top most intelligent criminals in the world. Get ready for an engrossing journey that surpasses the frequent, when brilliant brains descend into darkness. As we investigate the mystery of the criminal masterminds who use their brains as weapons, suspense is in the air. Prepare yourself for a mind-bending journey into the brains of those who conflate evil with genius. This is more than simply a video. It's an exploration of the shadows around unmatched intelligence and the crimes that shaped it. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. The Unabomber moniker's mysterious creator, Ted Kaczynski, made a lasting impression on criminal history. Kaczynski, who was born in 1942, showed remarkable intelligence in his early years, which led to his acceptance at Harvard at the age of 16. But his bright academic future took a bad turn, retiring to a secluded cabin in Montana. Kaczynski abandoned society and developed a radical anti-technology philosophy. His disgust for the contemporary industrial civilization was manifested in a series of bombings around the country. From 1978 to 1995, Kaczynski's homemade bombs, which were aimed against aircraft and institutions, caused multiple injuries and 3 fatalities. When the Unabomber asked that his 35,000-word manifesto, Industrial Society and Its Future, be published in order to stop the bombings, his infamy reached its peak in 1996. When Kaczynski was arrested soon after, his trial revealed a tortured genius whose ideas were overshadowed by the violence they provoked. Kaczynski was given a life sentence without the possibility of release, and his case serves as a sobering reminder of what can happen when seclusion and extreme ideologies corrupt the mind. His narrative poses important queries on the boundaries of social norms and the erratic directions that genius might go when left unchecked. Jeffrey Skilling, the architect of Enron's downfall. Jeffrey Skilling's name lives on in the annals of corporate ignominy as the mastermind behind Enron's disastrous demise. Skilling was praised as a corporate genius at the height of his career for masterminding Enron's rise to never-before-seen levels. But hidden beneath the surface of prosperity was a murky underbelly of financial fraud. Skilling's sharp intellect, developed at Harvard Business School, was both his advantage and disadvantage. He oversaw a financial innovation culture at Enron while serving as its CEO, which in actuality covered a maze of dishonest business dealings. Enron's financial situation was misrepresented by a complex network of off-balance sheet partnerships, accounting tricks, and falsified financial statements. Unavoidably, the house of cards fell, rocking the financial world with its collapse. Enron filed for bankruptcy in 2001, precipitating one of the worst corporate disasters in recorded history. Once hailed as a strategic genius, Skilling's name had come to represent corporate misconduct. He was sentenced to 24 years in jail after his trial, and his conviction revealed the full scope of his involvement in the Enron crisis. Jeffrey Skilling's legacy serves as a warning about the dangerous confluence of intelligence, unbridled ambition, and moral compromise in the context of high-stakes corporate maneuvering. Anatoly Onoprienko, the Beast of Ukraine. The notorious Beast of Ukraine, Anatoly Onoprienko, was a terrifying example of purposeful evil. Operating in the 1980s and 1990s, Onoprienko rose to prominence as one of the most infamous serial killers in Ukraine. Not only did he have a large victim count, but he also had a calculated and deliberate approach, which made him stand out. Onoprienko was born during a turbulent period in Ukrainian history, a time of poverty and unpredictability. His tumultuous childhood laid the groundwork for a shattered mentality that would eventually wreak havoc throughout the country of Ukraine. Between 1989 and 1996, Onoprienko went on a murderous rampage that left a trail of graphic crime scenes in his wake. His victims, more than 50 in total, were not picked at random. Rather, they were a part of a well-thought-out scheme. The Beast of Ukraine killed witnesses and confused investigators by going after entire families. Onoprienko's ability to modify his tactics and leave law enforcement in a condition of constant ambiguity was what made him so unnerving. Since his crimes were committed across several states, it was difficult for the authorities to identify a consistent pattern. After being apprehended in 1996, Onoprenko's trial exposed the callous and aloof mind that motivated the horrible deeds. His sharp mind and total lack of guilt created the impression of a man who saw his victims as little more than pieces in a graphic game. Anatoly Onoprenko left behind a terrible story of a predator who operated under the cover of intelligence and malice, as well as a scar on the collective memory of Ukraine and a harsh reminder of the darkness that may exist even in the most brilliant minds. Frank Abagnale Jr., the artful dodger. In the annals of criminal history, Frank Abagnale Jr., a name synonymous with bold deception and unmatched cunning, emerged as a truly clever dodger. His adventures, which were made famous by the movie Catch Me If You Can, tell the story of an intelligence saga gone awry. Abagnale demonstrated an amazing talent for persuasion and mimicry at an early age. His capacity to adopt multiple personas, such as that of a lawyer, doctor, and Pan Am pilot, stunned authorities and left confused institutions in his wake. It was a game of cat and mouse, with the police unable to keep up with his constantly changing plans. Abagnale was unique not only for his skill at impersonation and forgery, but also for his boldness in carrying out his scams. His deception was so extensive that it included everything from fake checks and credentials to creating a complex story that puzzled authorities. The game of cat and mouse grew more intense as Abagnale traveled the world, causing financial havoc in his wake, not just for the money he made, but also for the sheer creativity that drove his illegal activities. His adventures became legendary. But there was more to this deft dodger's technique than meets the eye. The narrative of Abagnale compels us to consider the reasons for such intelligence's inclination towards illegal activities in addition to the limits of criminal activity. His life story became a warning, illustrating the seductive and perilous dance between genius and the pull of the taboo. By exploring Frank Abagnale Jr.'s legacy, we uncover a story that questions our assumptions about intelligence and criminality and makes us wonder where the real boundaries. Kevin Mitnick, the cyber maestro, a name forever associated with intrigue in the digital world. Kevin Mitnick became notorious as the most wanted computer criminal in the United States. The mysterious journey of a guy whose mind changed the rules of cyber warfare is revealed in this section. Mitnick's exploits were a symphony of code, wit, and evasion rather than merely about breaking into digital castles. Renowned for his extraordinary hacking skills, he expertly navigated the virtual terrain, expertly breaching large organizations with unmatched dexterity. Because of his extraordinary abilities, law enforcement organizations pursued him relentlessly, turning him into a representation of the wild potential of the digital underworld. The FBI and Mitnick's game of cat and mouse turned into a legendary exchange. In addition to taking advantage of network vulnerabilities, he also took advantage of holes in the judicial system. His technological and psychological manipulation skills demonstrated a level of brilliance that went beyond virtual reality. Critical problems concerning the moral limits of technology and the fuzziness of the distinctions between cybercriminals and cybersecurity experts are brought up by Mitnick's account. Following his release from prison, Mitnick became a highly sought-after cybersecurity consultant, highlighting the dual nature of intelligence, which has the power to either strengthen digital defenses or cause mayhem. Kevin Mitnick is a legendary figure in the ever-changing world of cyber threats. He is both a cautionary tale and a living example of the mutually beneficial interaction between ingenuity and malevolence in the field of digital crime. As we end our investigation into the world's smartest criminals' minds, we encourage you to consider the complex dance between intelligence and malice. The journey into the shadows. Join the discussion instead of just watching. If you enjoyed this exploration, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more captivating videos, and tell your friends about the mystery. Your encouragement feeds our curiosity, and together we'll keep solving the challenges that remain hidden in the history of crime. Until next time, maintain your curiosity, your vigilance, and your exploration of the mysterious aspects of our environment.